Hi, this is Julie. Welcome back to my channel. This is probably going to be one of the hardest videos that I ever have to do. As always, I want to be transparent and help anybody I can through the things that I go through. So recently, last Monday, I lost my daughter. She was 18 and her birthday is coming up in November. And this is her right there. And I just kind of wanted to talk about the situation as a whole and encourage people and kind of share her life and our life with you. So as I stated in my welcome video, I have 9 kids. And the way that I see that is that I have 9 children, whether I physically birthed them or not. I have 4 that I gave birth to. I have 3 that I had custody of, and they're all siblings. And then I have 2 that belong to my ex-husband. And the way that I see them is they're all my kids. I don't see them as adopted or stepkids or anything like that. That's just not the way that I'm built. And I only ever specify those things for other people, not for myself, or because of my heart or how that's how I feel. When I got the 3 siblings, they were 15, 11, and 10. Brittany was 11 years old when I got her. I met their mother at a store. She asked me to give her a ride to her truck. And in conversation, I found out that our sons, my biological son and her son, went to school together. And she asked me, could I give him a ride because her truck that I took to her to was messed up. And then what ended up happening was we exchanged information, and then she ended up bringing him to me that weekend and left him there. Called her all weekend, no answer. Asked him what he wanted to do. He asked me to take him by their apartment to see if she was there. She was not. He got what clothes he could, and he asked me if he could just come back to the house with us. And I said yes. And then I called her all week. She still didn't answer the phone. He's calling her. I'm calling her. She never answered the phone. And then I believe she called me that next weekend. Now, mind you, when I saw her at the store, she was drunk. She was drunk when she called me. She told me that she had been at work, and that's why she hadn't called. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So she proceeds to ask me, could I keep him because they lost the apartment they were staying in, and she felt it was better that he stay with me while she tried to find a place for them to stay. Now, mind you, she doesn't know me, and I said, okay. She never told me she had 2 other children. I found out because the boys were talking, and I heard him say something about his sister, and I was like, you have a sister? And my son was like, yeah, she goes to school with us. I have a class with her. So her and my biological son were in a class together. And he's like, and I have a brother. And I said, these are all by your mom? He was like, yes. They don't have the same father. He has his own father, and then the younger 2 have their father. So I asked her about them. She told me they were with some friends, is what she said. And that they were, she was keeping them while she was trying to get herself together. Eventually she starts asking me, could I get the other two? Because she was saying now she had changed them from them being her friends to her, they were, and these are her words, not mine, they're evil dyke couple who was brainwashing her children and trying to kidnap them. This is what she told me. So I'm like, okay. She said she had been calling, they wouldn't answer the phone, and when they did, they wouldn't allow her to talk to her children. And so then she pops up at my house probably like a month later, first time I saw her sober, asking me to, could the younger two stay at the house because her mother was coming to get them Wednesday. This was on a Monday. And her mother lived in Houston. She said she's going to come get them. Can they just stay here with you until she comes? So I was like, that's fine. She didn't even know where her youngest child was at school at. But when she got to the house with my daughter, she was crying and upset. And I could tell that she was angry. And then she had to take her with her to go and find her son. So she goes and pulls him out of the school. Now, she withdrew them. She didn't just go pick them up from school. So when she comes back with my now youngest son, he says, well, can they stay till Friday? Because my mom said she can't come get them till Friday. So I was like, okay, that's fine. So when they leave, when she's like, okay, I gotta go, I'll be back. And she leaves. We don't hear from her. I'm calling her. Because I'm like, they can't sit here in these same clothes all week long. My son, he was smaller than my biological son and his brother. We did not have no clothes to fit him. And she was smaller than my girls. There was no, I didn't have any. I was like, they can't sit like this. So eventually she calls me back the next day and I was like, hey, like, can we get some clothes for them? Where's their stuff? And she said, oh, well, you can just call them. They're all about the kids. Now they're all about the kids again. Just call them. They'll bring their stuff over there. So, I tell my daughter, I said, can you please call them? When they show up, they're upset. Now, mind you, they knew her. I did not. They were nervous. They were never going to see them again. And I assured them, I was like, listen, I was like, y'all can call them. I don't have any problem with y'all calling. Not an issue. So I said, if y'all want to come out of the house and see them, and they were like, please don't let her take them. And me being the person I am, I was trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. I did not know her. I didn't know that this is just kind of what she does. How they got them was they were at a barbecue at the apartments that they live in. I guess the apartment complex threw a barbecue for their tenants. And they were all there. So they said it was getting late, and the mom left with the oldest son, and they left, and they left the younger two kids there. Well, they I guess they stayed in the same breezeway or on the same floor of the apartments. So they knew that, that was their mother, and because they kind of just hung around the park or whatever and were waiting for her to come back. It was getting dark and she never came. So they told the two of them to just come with us, leave a note on your mother's door so she can know where y'all are. Well, she never came back. So they were living in a one-bedroom apartment, and what they had done was they had moved and got a bigger apartment to accommodate the two children. And, it wasn't what their mom had portrayed to me. That's not what it was. Well, when I had their older brother, I did not know she had a CPS case open on them. And now, mind you, I'm not going to name any names except for my children, and I'm really trying to stay away from not using anyone's name except for my daughter's name. So just to respect other people's privacy, and not even their mothers or their fathers. So